We in here. Go ahead and share. All right, cool. So I was just waiting for everybody to come in. I'd like to remind everyone, like and subscribe. We are going to be talking about living a code life in 2021, what that looks like, and basically how you can get started. So I have the chat up, as you can see, and everybody can see the chat. And I basically want you all to ask your questions in the chat, and we're going to I'm going to answer. I'm going to stay on this live stream at least probably until 6 o'clock, here answering any questions and talking about like some of the things that I'm currently doing that you can replicate. Now once again, like, you know, this isn't necessarily like financial advice. I'm just telling you what I'm doing to live a code life in my life, and these practices I have seen other people do as well, and they're living a code life. And honestly, you know, the current paradigm of how we work, I mean, Corona has shown us that that is getting blown out of the water, and that is not sustainable for today's times. Going forward, having multiple streams of income is not only going to be preferred, it's going to become more and more necessary for stability. And the beautiful thing is that, you know, most of the people who I am speaking to, they are software engineers, and they have the capability to create software that they can monetize. And for those who don't have programming skills, there's ways to still get in on this monetization of software, because that's going to be the biggest money generator going forward. But, you know, we're just waiting for people. Go ahead and hop in the chat. You know, let me know, let everybody know who you are, and just say what's up, so I know everybody's not sleeping. Let's see. Hop into Discord. Let's grab the stream URL. Phone. Here we go. Alright, boom. Let's go. Master colors. Live right now doing a Code Life Q&A. Come through and questions. Alright, cool. So share that. Make sure that you like and you share this stream. Oh snap, I didn't even see these. Hold up. Oh man, this stupid thing. Alright, Andrew Robita. I'm Andrew. Been learning going to school again to open a freelance business for making sites. Want to look at other options as well, like building apps and services. Alright, Andrew, so are you currently, so what are you doing, like WordPress, Shopify? What are you currently doing? And when you say you want to look at other options such as building apps and services, what niche are you looking at? Let's start there. This is good. So basically, Robert said that he is going back to school and he is working on building a freelancing business that makes websites, I'm assuming for businesses or brands or both. And he wants to look at other options like building apps and services. And this is a great mentality to have, especially if you are building a business. So a lot of people, he says anything really. Okay, cool. We'll get to that. So a lot of people, when they start a company, they focus on one thing, and that ends up being their only source of income. And while you're running your own company and you may be self-employed, you're still you still only have one avenue of income. So let's say that one niche that you're focusing on, something happens, it goes out of trend, it goes out of style, and now that directly affects your revenue. So just like how they tell you when you invest in stocks, or just invest period, you want to diversify your portfolio. It goes the same with your businesses. Your businesses want to have multiple streams of income, even if you're only focused in one niche. And your niche in this case would be software design and development. I don't know who called me. But you want to, so you focus on sites and you want to go to services and apps. So the first thing I'm going to ask you is, who are you using to host your websites that you create for people? How do you do that? Walk me through that process. So I come to you, I pay you to do a photography website for me. Where is it being hosted? And after you answer that question, I'll give you a more thorough answer. But I'm glad that you said you want to expand into looking into building apps and services, because services are where the money really lies. And I'm going to explain why in a moment. But okay, so I don't know, he may be AFK or whatever. So Andrew, the reason why I'm asking this is because let's say I built apps with Next.js. Okay, and where are you hosting them on AWS? Are the clients paying for their own hosting? How are you doing that? And the reason why I say this is because your first service that you could offer, you host them with Vercel. Okay, I'm not familiar with Vercel. Let me look that up real quick. Boom, let's see. Vercel. So when you do your hosting, how are you pricing that? Do they pay by the month? Do they pay by the year? Okay, it's one of those, you start off with a developer package, $0 a month. Okay. Then I'll offer to manage their content. It's basically AWS. All right, cool. So, all right, so you already have one service, all right, and that is the managing of their content. Now, is that if I pay you to manage my content, is that something that I'm paying for yearly or monthly, quarterly? Whatever it is, how much work do you have? First of all, how much are you charging to manage their content, and what is the interval that you're charging them on? Second question, how much are you charging them to manage their content? I'm gonna start with your example and show you how you can, step up your game. So you build them monthly. All right, cool. And how much are you charging them monthly? And everybody who's coming in, make sure that you share this video. I charge an hourly rate for managing content based on based on $40 an hour or 40 hours a week. $40 hourly rate. Okay, All right. So, if you could estimate, can you estimate how many hours you spend managing the average client's website? All right. You say about 10 hours a month. Okay. On average. So that's giving you about $400 a month per client. Now, currently, are you the only developer who is working on managing these sites? Okay. Okay. So right now you're the only person. Okay. So the first thing that I would do, if you and the first thing I would do, if you have at least one client who is giving you $400 a month to manage their content, I would go and hire a dedicated content manager. I would go to one of these sites, such as either Fiverr or let me see, what is that? What is that one site? Hold on one second. onlinejobs.ph. I'm copying this URL and putting it in the chat. Copy. Now you can get somebody who's working full time, and you're gonna be paying basically like anywhere from $800 to $1,000, $1,200 a month. But they'll be working 40 hours a week. So, and you don't have to get someone who's full time. Like you can get someone who is a part-time person. So, how many clients do you have right now who are paying you to manage their content? Because if you're doing 10 hours a month, right, and you have at least 4 clients who are paying you, $400 a month, you can get somebody who works 10 hours a week, and that's it. And you'll be paying them if they are working, if they're doing $10 an hour, and you do 4 weeks at 10 hours, that's 40 hours. It's basically one full work week. You're paying $400. So basically you're making $1,600 in gross profit. You're paying out $400 to have somebody who's managing the content. Your business is profiting $1,200, and you freed up 40 hours of your month every month. So with that extra 10 hours a week that you have, you can spend those 10 hours on getting more clients. And right now, your person is only working 10 hours a week. So they have the capacity to take on more work, because you want to end up getting to a point where they're working 30 to 40 hours a week. Okay? Because once you get to the point where they're working full time, they would need to, they're managing 12 to 16 sites on managing content. Now, the managing of the content, I'm assuming, is not code related. Like, I'm assuming you're doing stuff like building blogs and uploading photos for like photography websites, something like that. Correct me if I'm wrong in the chat. But this isn't going to be something that is going to require a lot of technical know-how. So, the $10 an hour, that was actually more for like some of like the junior coders and stuff that I look for. You made for a content manager. Let's look real quick. I'm going to hop on to onlinejobs.ph. Let's see, that's data entry. I mean, I don't know. Data entry might be the person you need. Let's see, you can do let's look for a writer. All right, cool. So right now, I'm looking at a virtual assistant, content writer, social media manager. Okay, she has a bachelor's degree. She works 40 hours a week. Okay, she has a 99 ID proof, which is as good as you can get. So this is a legitimate person. They've worked on several projects. Her expertise includes Facebook Ads Manager. You just said you were debating on social media management. Okay? Social media manager, content writer, graphic design, customer service, and online English teacher. Now, I want you to guess what her expected salary is per month. Okay? I want you to take a guess before I tell you. All right? I'm going to wait a few seconds. So while you do that, while you're guessing, I'm going to go ahead and share this on Twitter. Boom, boom. Boom. Quote tweet. All right, so what site is this? We're on onlinejobs.ph. It's the link that I put in the chat. So you say $3,500 US for 40 hours a week, content manager. Okay, somebody with a 99 ID proof, one of the top people on the website doing what she does. No. For 40 hours a week for a content creator, all right? 40 hours a week for a content creator on onlinejobs.ph with a top ranking is, drum roll, 531 United States dollars per month. And you can have this person 40 hours a week. I'm actually about to pin this person because I'm liking this. So so think about that. All right, I want you to honestly think about that. So this person can update all of your sites for all of your clients for the price of a little more than one client if you're averaging $400 a month for that client. All right. So think about that at scale. Now let's go back to that example you have with your business. All right. So you said you want to look at somebody who can do content creation and your debate and social media management. So we have this person right here who can work 40 hours a week. You have 4 clients. That's $1,600. All right, and that is 10 hours a week. All right, so we're going to multiply that by 4. And let's say you have 16 clients. They're averaging 10 hours a month. That's 160 hours in a month, which translates to about 40 hours a week. All right, so 16 times 400. All right, so we got 16 times 400. That is $6,400 coming into your business. All right, you got 6,400 minus 531. So pre-tax, your company has $5,869 coming in. All right, that's per month. Now let's multiply that by 12. $70,428 per year that your company is making, okay, with a full-time employee. All right. He said, "Nah, she's mine." With a full-time employee, and you have freed up 40 hours a week of your time. You can focus fully on being a business owner. And this was able to be done using code, hence Code Life. If it weren't for software platforms like this, where you could find people who can do work at a cheap rate, you wouldn't be able to do what you needed to do. All right. And as much as people over here talk about, oh, hey, you're paying for cheap labor, you have to understand that where she is making that money, she's living good. Like, she's living good. So, if you could get paid the same, if you could get the same margins, and you get a bigger benefit for hiring someone stateside, then by all means do that. But if you're trying to grow and grow really fast, the best thing to do for tasks like that, it would allow you to, it makes sense. Now, for a senior software engineer for a project that you need to get done quick and done well, I'd probably hire someone who's closer to you, preferably in your time zone or something, so that you could, work hands on. Like my engineer, my engineer literally lives across the street. Like I could walk to his house. The benefits of having him right there and being able to like work with him at any given point in time, even especially during COVID and stuff, like when we got to get stuff done, that is worth paying him more than hiring someone over in India. So you have to know when, to hire and take that cheap labor into account. But for something like content management and like, managing blogs and photos, stuff like that, yeah, get the person from the Philippines. It will let me find bigger clients for bigger site sales as well. That is also true. That is also true. So now let's take the scenario. You've gotten her. This is you're making you've gotten your 16 clients, and you're making your 5,000 something in profit. All right. I mean, if you really wanted to, that's enough to live on, right? Like you could stop there and you're like completely, you're straight. And you could find another assistant who could manage your sales, right? Like somebody who could do all your marketing and code calling and stuff like that to find your next clients, right? That's what I personally would do. I would take that extra money, find somebody else who can manage my marketing, because the next part, this leads right in. The content service does not include the initial site sale. Oh, got you. I got you. That's an add-on service. Got you. Yes. So yeah, that would allow you to get bigger clients for bigger sales. So somebody else. So I take that back. I would hire 2 people then. All right. I would definitely find a Nux.js developer. Now you're going to be paying more than $531 for developers. Probably going to be paying closer to the $1,100 to $1,500, right? If you decide to go on the Filipino site, but that could range. I personally would probably do it. So let's look up a Nux.js developer real quick. Site's going a little slow. Well, it's my computer going slow because I'm on a MacBook Air running OBS, but whatever. All right, I'm not going to fool with that right now. But basically, okay, let's say $1,100. So I would pay for and get a Nux.js developer who can actually handle the web design, and then that way, if you have 2 Filipinos over there and they're working together, like they're in the same time zone, it's easier. You get what I'm saying? It's easier for those 2 to coordinate together than for you to coordinate with them separately, right? So if you end up building a team over there and you build a workflow process, so like you have your marketing person, you have your developer, you have your content manager, okay? The marketing person can focus on the ads and like getting the clients through the virtual means. You're always, as the business owner, you're always going to kind of need to be there just in case to like close a deal. But idealistically, you want to have a complete team that just automates this whole process, and it's going to start with you getting these contracts and building up this team. I think I want to keep development with me for now. Okay, yeah, I mean, that's cool as well. Like, that's another thing. So you can automate the marketing side and you can automate the content management side and you do the development side. That's also completely fine. So Phantom Corny, hey mate, I'm a German developer and I want to know what you think about web development at all. Well, you've come to the right channel. Thank you for asking the question, Phantom Corny. So I'm a full stack developer. I do back end and front end. I have done full stack web development for Apple. I was a senior engineer at Apple. I was a senior and lead engineer at Sephora. I've done web development at Kabam. I've done web development. Pretty much everywhere I've went. If I wasn't doing embedded software engineering or if I wasn't doing mobile development. So web development is the crux of my, software body, and I believe it's the future. I believe that the browser is going to become the God app, especially as WebAssembly becomes more mainstream and we start seeing more WebAssembly applications. I think that the concept of having dedicated mobile app stores is going to become less relevant because you'll be able just to go to a website, execute the WebAssembly modules, and do the same things that you are currently able to do with native mobile APIs and SDKs. So, for example, you'll be able to go to these games and be able to connect all your stuff and be able to do things that right now we can't really think of. We're going to be able to have new languages that interact in the web because we're going to be able to write compilers and WebAssembly compilers and stuff like that. I actually have other videos talking about WebAssembly, and I'm going to be doing some more workshops on WebAssembly and what you can do. What are you currently a web developer? And if so, what are you working on? But I do think that, especially from the consumer side, web applications are going to become more and more prevalent, especially mobile web applications. And if you are new to development, like you're learning coding, you're trying to find a job, you're going to have much more success in the web development space just because there is a lot more stuff available in that space. Does that answer your question? I hope so. Don't forget, everybody, to like and subscribe and share this video, especially on Twitter. And really appreciate y'all. So, Andrew, back to you. So you say you want to keep your development to yourself, which I think is a good idea. Allows you to keep some direction and keep the flow and let you find like a protege or somebody that you can train under you. So let's go back to the marketing, because marketing is actually the biggest component, and this is actually where a lot of the Code Life philosophy comes into play, because if people don't know about you and your services, you can't grow. So marketing plays a big part. So let's say you got your virtual assistant / content writer, and it's just you. So we're going back to you just starting out. You're paying the $531 a month. You got her 40 hours a week. All right. So you are still handling marketing, development, and acquisition. All right. I want to stay sharp so I can build my other services as well, which is a very, 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 very smart idea. So you're handling user acquisition or client acquisition, marketing, and development. Okay. So, true words, my man. What do you think about Laravel Symfony at all? PHP as the web. Phantom, I'm gonna get to that right in a second. Let me finish this. But you came to the right channel. So you got your person. You're finding your clients, right? When you as you're building, you always want to make sure that every site that you have needs to have links to your web service. Okay. Now this is going to do a couple things. When your clients are running ads, which you should be running an ad management service with your web development. You should be offering the development. You should be offering the management of the content. You should also be offering marketing and advertising. Okay? Because when your clients are running ads for the website that you built and your site is like in the footer tagged, you're basically getting free advertisement off of their dollars that they're paying you to do. You get what I'm saying? It's like rolling back in. But we're going to take a pause real quick and go to Phantom Corny's question. He says, true words, my man. What do you think about Laravel and Symfony as at all, PHP as the web? So I'm assuming you're new to my channel because most of my programming videos are in Laravel. Me and Taylor Otwell are really cool. If you go to my YouTube, I actually interviewed Taylor Otwell and I interviewed Matt Stauffer at Laracon a couple years ago. I've known them and I've been in the Laravel ecosystem since Laravel 4. So I think Laravel is the best web framework out there, period, hands down. Not just the best PHP, but the best, period. And Laravel and PHP are not going anywhere. PHP is a beast. PHP is evolving, and a lot of people are sleeping on PHP. They still compare PHP 8 to like PHP 5, and you just like can't do that. I continue to do most of my APIs in PHP, in Laravel and PHP. Now I'm a big proponent of microservices, so stuff like AI, machine learning, I will do that in Python. Anything that needs to be done with like WebSocket, Socket.io, I'm going to be doing that with Node.js, but I'll use Laravel for like my main, like my notification systems and user registration and stuff of that nature. If that answers your question. So Andrew, going back to you. So you should be offering a ad management service. Now, the moment that somebody pays you to, do management of ads, that's when you can hire your management person out in the Philippines who can handle your ads. And honestly, it looks like a lot of the content writers are also, now I'm looking on here, also do Facebook and Google ads as well. So, truth be told, you can probably double up on a marketing person with your content manager. And actually, that might be better. It might be better to do that and then just start doubling up on content writers who can also manage the ads. So that way, they're getting like projects, right? So, that if this person has 4 clients who is managing content, when they make the ads for the content that they ourselves are managing, they're probably going to do a better job at creating that ad because they're the ones who actually made that content for the ad to be done. Does that make sense? So you definitely want to play on the strengths of people that you outsource and hire. Yeah, like this is good. Is all this making sense, by the way? If it's not, for sure let me know. For sure let me know. And if you if you are not subscribed to the Code Life newsletter, if you head over to my website, JeromeParker.com, you can sign up for my newsletter. It's free, and I drop knowledge every week. All right. Everyone who subscribed to my newsletter, they get discounts on my shop and my courses, my one-on-one times. They get special exclusive content, and they get just the most up-to-date knowledge of what's going on about living a code life. Now I want to explain a little bit about what I mean when I say code life. I branded Code Life a few years ago, and it's just a philosophy of using technology and code to automate your life. So this can be done in a personal sense, and this can be done in a business sense. It's a lifestyle. All right. So for me, like when I was a little younger, in my early 20s, I developed my first app that was bringing me residual income. Okay, it was a medical app I wrote for a client, and I was taking a percentage. And it was making me so much money at one point in time that I actually took a mini retirement. I stopped working, and I was living 100% off of my app revenue. And I noticed, I mean, I wasn't rich, and I don't want you to think I was rich. Like, this was literally just enough to pay my bills, buy my groceries. So like, I did not have extra money at the end of the month. In fact, there was a couple months, and this was the reason why I ended up coming back to consulting, was because there was a couple months where like the app didn't perform so well. So like, I struggled those couple months, and there was a couple months where it did really well. So it ebbed and flowed, right? But overall, it was wonderful because I had all of this time. Now, I was married at the time, and I had a son at the time, and a daughter on the way. All right, wasn't here yet. But it was great. It was great. So I was like, all right, when I had to come back to contracting, right? I was like, okay, cool. How can I end up building this same system with the apps and building up to the point where like I don't have to work at all completely? And I was like, all right, I'm just going to start building and buying more apps. And if you follow me on Twitter, you see my thread about app flipping and how digital real estate is the new, digital assets is the new real estate. Digital real estate. You can own these apps, own these websites, own these domains, stuff, all these stuff that's bringing you money. And money isn't the end all be all, but we live in a society for we live in a society that is capitalist based. So you have to have money in order to do the things that you really want to do. So my whole goal with money is looking at it as a tool. I don't really care if I'm a billionaire or multimillionaire. I mean, it would be nice, but like that's not what drives me. I just want to have financial freedom so I can have like time freedom and location freedom. Like I'm going to Texas next month. I just came back from Cali. I might be going to New York in a couple weeks. Like, I don't make a whole lot of money, but I have a whole lot of time, and I don't have a whole lot of expenses and stuff because I automate my life. Phantom Corny, thanks for answering, buddy. Please excuse me for being so forwarded, but is there a way to get a talk with you in Discord or something? I have some real serious ideas. All right, I'm gonna take a break from what I was saying real quick and address you, Phantom. I do have a Discord channel called Master Coders. I'm putting a link in the chat right now, okay? And you can just add me and talk to me directly, all right? And let's see, we make this never expire. And let's generate the link. We're going to copy. I need that messenger chat on my site ASAP. Yes, yeah, you talking about the Facebook? Yes. Yeah, that thing's so dope. But yeah, so location and time freedom, right? So now let's break those two down. Time freedom basically meaning I can do what I want when I want, and location freedom is doing what I want where I want. All right. So I figured out and I tasted the life of like making money online, right? So once you actually prove to yourself you can do it, it's pretty easy to replicate it. So I wasn't necessarily worried about that, but something I did notice is, man, I'm back working, and my time, like I don't have as much time as I did when I wasn't, when I was just living off my apps. Like now I'm making more money because I'm still making money off the apps. Like that didn't stop. But now I'm going back and I'm working. I wasn't working quite full time, but almost full time, like 32, 35 hours. So I was like, all right, well, I can't not work. So that time is gone. So I was like, well, what about the other things in my life? Is there any way I can shave off time for things that I know I have to do on the daily, but I can't? But I can't. I'd rather just not do, right? Things like automating email responses, right? I don't really want to do that. It's something I have to do for my business and stuff. I gotta communicate. But if I could get like a synopsis of my important emails, that would be so much better. So I started thinking, I'm a coder, and all these things have APIs. And if they don't, there's still other ways of getting the data. How can I automate my life? Okay? Because I can always make money, but I can't make time. You feel me? You can't make time, but you can save time by putting in time now to build automated systems to save you time later. So the first step of living a code life is automating the things in your life that can be automated. So every second that you can save off doing some repetitive task is time that can be put towards literally anything else. But the next step of living a code life is, getting the money coming in from code through passive and residual means. All right. Next step after that is moving yourself to a location where you can maximize the benefits. All right. For me, that's being a nomad. I travel a lot. But for you, that might be different. I live in Louisville, Kentucky. Okay. Rest in peace, Breonna Taylor. I live in Louisville, Kentucky, and it's really cheap here. Like, I bought some land for $500 and put a tiny house on there. Like, the same plot of land, if I wanted to buy it, like in Cali, a similar size, would be like $100,000. There's not a whole. Oh snap! Thanks for the tip. Thanks for the tip, bro. I appreciate you, man. Corny Dev, shout out. I appreciate you, bro. Yes, please come through. I'm going to be doing these Q&As. I think I'm going to do the Q&A lives at least twice a month on Saturdays. So I'm thinking the second and fourth Saturday of the month, I'll do these Q&As. And I'll still be uploading the coding tutorials, and I'll still be doing my tech talks. But I really like the live experience. I really appreciate you, my bro. I really appreciate you. But yeah, location freedom. So it's really cheap here. And if I were to, do the same thing in California, I'd have to make a lot more. But since I'm here, I'm able to save money, which enables me to do things like travel to Cali whenever I want for a week or so and then come back. So if you live in an area that is really expensive, you might want to consider migrating to some place that is less expensive so that you can save money so that you can do more things quicker, right? So if you've made your business and it's completely online, you're not tied down to location, right? especially if your clients are also not in your vicinity, right? Like most of my clients are not in Louisville, Kentucky. So being in Louisville, Kentucky is not a direct benefit to user acquisition because Louisville, Kentucky is not a very tech-driven city. Most of my clients are coming from the Bay or from New York and stuff like that, places like that are more tech, more tech-driven. So I can be wherever, but Louisville's pretty cheap, so I stay here. But if you're someplace that's expensive, you might want to consider moving someplace that's not expensive, just so that you can have higher margins. Because remember, you're working so that you don't have to work. Now that can come in one of two forms, right? You can either get a big sum of money, like let's say you build an app that sells for $1 billion. All right, boom. You got a big lump sum. You don't need to work, right? Or you build up a cash flow that is way above your cost of living. So if you are living a $50,000 a year lifestyle, okay, but you're making $150,000, then you're literally saving twice as much as you're spending a year, and that's how you're supposed to be. Most people they move their lifestyle up with how much money they make. So if you are currently working and you want to start living a code life and you are at the point where like you're making residual income, you're either doing like affiliate programs you are or selling some sort of merchandise, you're doing stuff like a YouTube channel or a blog, you are buying and selling apps, you just have an app that's making you residual income. No matter what you're doing that is bringing you money, you have to. You're not supposed to act like the money doesn't exist, because you have to put the money to work. But you should act like that money isn't yours yet, because that money has work to do to get more money, so that you can get to the point where you don't have to work. And when you get to that point where you don't have to work, you still need to live in a lifestyle that will allow you to keep it. Because a lot of people reach insolvency when they become old, because they didn't invest their money in such a way so that they could live off that money until they die, if that makes sense. So they end up going broke in like their last few years, which sucks. So, do we have any more questions? Is everything I'm saying making sense? Surely there's some more questions. How many of you in the chat have an idea for an app that you want to monetize? And of those people in the chat, how many people are confident that they can build the app, but they don't know what to do from there? How can I send you a private message on Discord? Where's your? Let's see. Did you just join the chat, the server? Is that you, Kimbuktu, or Arabida? Kimbuktu. Okay. Cool. All right, I just sent you a message. So, all right, I get off of the stream in about 20 minutes, and then we can talk. We can chop it up. All right. All right, cool. So you said, all right, you got a chore. Andrew said you got a chore that somewhat confident. All right, cool. So, you're going to build the app, and then that's the easiest part. Building the app is the easiest part. And the beautiful thing about having the skills to build the app is that you save the most money up front. Keyword up front. Because you don't have to pay a developer $80 to $100 an hour to build the app, because you can just build it yourself, and then that's and you can get it done faster because you control the direction of it. But once you build the app, that's where the long-term money starts, because you have to spend money on advertising. We are past the point of relying on organic growth to build your business. It is pay to play. I'm sorry, it is. And it's not just a matter of paying money for ads. These ads have to be quality ads. You need to not only pay for the ads, you need to pay to have the ads done right. Which goes back into like hiring an ad manager, because that's going to be your best investment, especially if you're going to be churning out ads left and right. But you have to throw it in their face. You got to constantly let them know, hey, this thing is for you. You need to use it. You need to use this product. You need to use this app. You need to use my business to perform this service. Whatever it is. So when you are making money, especially like the first year, all that money needs to be reinvested into the brand/business. Because like I said, you need to be treating this money like it's not your money yet. Okay? So if you're at your job, or you're part-time, whatever, that's your money that you live on. Okay? The extra money that's coming from your app, you need to set up and this goes back to automating your life. A lot of these things have SDKs and APIs, so you can automate the ad experience. So if let's say you got an app, you're making money on Stripe or whatever, right? It's making $100. You need to write a automated system that takes 40% of what you make and throws it right back in the ads, right? So at the end of the month, like let's say I made $100 for the app, it's going to take $40 and put it towards take $20, put it towards a Facebook ad, and take $20, put it towards a Google ad. And it's all going to be automated. Do you know why you want to do that? 2 reasons. One, you don't even have to think about it, and you are ensuring growth, right? You're ensuring that the ads are gonna, it's gonna be set and forget, and it's scalable because you're doing a percentage of the income that shouldn't really be, count as really income yet anyway. The other 60%, should go into the corporate account, what have you, should be left in there. And by doing that, by starting the ground off that way, you don't have to worry about fighting temptation. You feel me? You are taking temptation out of the equation, because that money is coming out before it even touches your account. It's just like with direct deposit, and you got like bill pay and stuff, who's taking out child support, taken out of your check before it hits your account. You don't even miss it because you never had it. It's not your money. So the biggest thing that you can do once you find your niche, once you find your product, is advertise the hell out of it. All right. So what we got? It is 5:37 p.m. I'm going to start winding it down over the last 20 minutes. So I want everyone here, if you haven't already done so, I need you to share this on all your social media. If you have not subscribed, I need you to subscribe. And if you are subscribed, make sure that you have tapped the bell so that you get notifications when I upload videos and when I go live. And it's good stream health. Alright, Andrew and Phantom, anybody else? Do we have any more questions? If not, then I'm gonna go into some other things. Alright. So, you've built the product, you've advertised the product, right? So, what do you do at that point? Well, it depends on, what you're trying to do. For me, I care more about building apps. I'd rather have 10 apps that make me $100 a month than have one app that makes me $1,000 a month. Okay? Because by having 10 apps to make $100 a month, I'm giving myself a lot more room for growth, because it only takes one of those to, go viral for me to be like, oh snap, I made it. And it's also easier, it's easier to double from 100 to 200 than it is to double from 1,000 to 2,000. So it's easier to do that 10 times than it would be to do it once, depending, typically. Now, this is not always true, but typically, all right? Also, it gives me more stability, because if the app that's making $1,000 a month fails, I've lost $1,000 a month. If I have 10 apps to make 100 and 2 of them fail, I'm still making $800 a month. So it's giving me hedge. So, and another thing I tell people, it does not take a long time to put out an app that makes money. A lot of the apps that make a lot of money are super simple, both in concept and in user interface. Some of them don't even have styling, but they got ads, and they get enough traffic coming through to the website that they make money, and that's all that matters. People spend too much time perfecting apps. Whether it's the back end service or the front end, making it look pretty, and not enough time getting it out and advertising it. That's what you got to do. I have an app that I'm about to go crazy on called TrustGenerator.com. All right. Now this app, I'm gonna show it to you. Put it in the chat. This app allows you to generate a trust on the web. Okay. And you can, so for those of you who don't understand what a trust is, that's a whole other topic for a whole other day. But this app makes me per sale I make, let's see, do I still have it on this yeah. So each trust costs $25. Okay. I've done about 100 trusts. Those are at various prices because I was doing different promotions and stuff. But this app, believe it or not, I have done 0 advertising on. That's about to start this month. But I had other stuff that I need to do first, mostly, and but now I'm at the point where, hey, it's time to get it done. So Trust Generator is going to be having ads on it, and my goal is to do 100 trusts a month, which comes down to 3 trust sales a day. If I can do 3 trust sales a day, then I'm making an extra $30,000 a year, roughly. My math's a little wrong on that, but hey. So this app took me all combined, it was less than 4 hours. It was like 2 hours and some change. Do you know of any Amazon shopping APIs or the best way to interact with Amazon services through the web or the app? Off the top of my head, no, because I don't really mess with the Amazon ecosystem anymore. I'm actually in the process of building my own data center, so I'm going to be like leaving them in that whole cloud infrastructure completely here soon. But my friend Ricky would be the person you want to talk to. If you're on Twitter, you can follow him at Ricky Mason 502, and you can ask him because he's all up on that. But yeah, so it took me about 3 hours, a little less than 3 hours to write Trust Generator, and it doesn't use ads. It's a product app, so I make my money off sales, but it didn't take long. There's this misconception you got to spend thousands of hours to build something. You don't. Like, over time, yes, because you always want to increment it, but to build something, an MVP that people can use and you can start making money, you can do this in a day. Okay? You just have to have the right niche, you have to have the right idea, you have to have the right execution. And that's all it is to live a code life. So I'm going to be updating the app. I'm going to be making it look better, and I'm going to be running ads. And like I said, my goal is $100 a month, and I will be using this money exclusively for running advertisements for my other apps and endeavors. But yeah, we've been on here for about an hour 12 minutes. I think I'm about to wrap it up, guys and gals. And question, do Saturday's Q&As work for you around this time at 3:30? If I were to make this a consistent thing and give you all time to come up with your questions and have a dedicated time for y'all to come through, would this time work for you? If so, then I will, make it a schedule. I will definitely make it a schedule. But everyone, I love y'all. Thank you for coming through. And be sure to like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I will talk to y'all later. Follow me on Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram, everything at MasterShake08. And like I said, if you haven't been to my website, JeromeParker.com, if you go to the shop, I have some really cool Code Life merchandise. If you want to support the channel and get something out of it, why don't you buy one of my Code Life hoodies? They are really dope. Just head over to JeromeParker.com/shop. I have courses on there. I have accessories like laptop bags and backpacks, and I also have clothing like hoodies and sweatpants and stuff like that. Great way to support the channel, and I think that's all I got. So I will talk to you all later.